What if I told you that inside you lies a reservoir of ancient powerful forces, hidden energies, that could completely transform the way you experience reality? These forces don't wear costumes or perform tricks. They're not myths or fantasies. They are very real, dormant abilities, waiting beneath the surface of your everyday awareness, ready to be awakened. Throughout history, shamans, sages, and mystics from countless cultures have whispered about these hidden gifts. They spoke of spiritual powers, unseen strengths of the body, and a deep, forgotten connection between humans and the cosmos. But the endless noise of modern life, our screens, our rush, our fear of what we can't explain, has buried these voices beneath layers of distraction. Yet, if you pay close attention, the signs are everywhere. Have you ever felt eyes on you in an empty room, only to glance and find no one there? Or sensed your hand moving without conscious thought in complete darkness? Perhaps you felt a presence nearby without hearing a single word. These moments aren't random. They're subtle messages from within, reminders of the vast wisdom and power you already carry in your body, your energy, and your soul. The human body is more than flesh and bones. It's a sacred vessel, a temple that holds the keys to abilities that defy ordinary understanding. Today, we're going to explore 7 real superpowers. Humans possess powers that have been largely forgotten. Some feel like magic because they're so subtle, while others are so familiar we tend to overlook their true depth. But all are authentic and can be cultivated. This isn't about gimmicks or sensational claims. Instead, we'll dive deeply into phenomena ranging from the mysterious sweat that reveals our inner emotional state, to the incredible ability to hear underwater, to ancient skills like sensing illness before symptoms even appear, and even the possibility of seeing clearly with your eyes closed. Get ready for a journey that may expand your mind and awaken memories of abilities you always had, but lost sight of. True awakening isn't about finding something new. It's about remembering what has always been inside you. To understand these powers, we need to look back not just at history's dates, but through symbols and wisdom that point to the soul's story. Ancient civilizations didn't view humans as mere physical beings. Instead, they saw themselves as microcosms, small reflections of the vast universe. This belief was universal, stretching from Egypt to India, Greece, and the Americas. These cultures understood that the forces guiding the stars, the tides, and the seasons also flow within each of us. It's no accident that at the Temple of Delphi, the phrase "know yourself and you will know the universe" was etched in stone. This wasn't a simple motto, it was a profound truth. Humans are not just observers of reality, we are spiritual beings equipped with inner mechanisms that, when mastered, let us perceive, influence, and even reshape both ourselves and the world around us. In ancient Egypt, the mystery schools taught initiates that the human body was a sacred instrument. Through breathing exercises, rhythmic movements, and focused meditation, they unlocked powers hidden beneath the surface of ordinary experience. These practices weren't just rituals, they were keys to activating the subtle energies within. Imagine learning to move energy with your breath, or sensing the health of someone's spirit long before illness appears. Picture being able to tap into heightened awareness that guides your decisions with clarity, beyond logic. These are not fantasies, they are ancient truths waiting to be reawakened. Modern science is beginning to catch up, studying how the mind and body communicate through energy, how intuition works, and how subtle signals shape our reality. But the deepest understanding still lies within ancient wisdom and direct experience. Now more than ever, there's a growing hunger to reconnect with these lost gifts, to move beyond the noise and distraction, and step into a life where you're not powerless, but deeply connected to a vast, living force inside you. So, are you ready to explore these 7 forgotten superpowers, to awaken what has always been your birthright? The path back to your true potential starts with a single step: turning inward, tuning out the chaos, and remembering the extraordinary power that lives quietly within. Because the greatest superpower of all is the power to remember who you really are. Ancient wisdom sought to awaken hidden abilities that connect us to higher realms of existence. In Egypt, the Ka and Ba energetic parts of the soul were carefully nurtured through practices that modern science is only now beginning to explore, using fields like neurobiology and somatic psychology. Far across the world, the Vedic traditions spoke of siddhis, spiritual powers that naturally arise when one masters the mind and commits to deep spiritual practice. These gifts include clairvoyance, heightened hearing, telepathy, and even the ability to influence the emotions of others, considered normal states for those fully attuned to their true selves. Even the Stoics, known for their rationality but also spiritual insight, valued inner perception over the senses. Seneca famously said, "No wind is favorable for the sailor who does not know to which port he is sailing," emphasizing that true vision comes not from the eyes, but from clarity within. Over time, much of this knowledge faded. The Middle Ages, shrouded in fear of the unknown, persecuted those who carried these teachings, labeling them heretics. The rise of modern science focused heavily on what could be measured and tested, dismissing anything beyond the physical world as superstition. What was once sacred wisdom became forgotten lore. Yet, many of the superpowers we'll explore today have existed for centuries, known by different names, hidden in ancient scrolls, alchemical texts, and oral traditions. The ability to smell illness, hear underwater frequencies, or sense another's gaze. These phenomena are not new. They were respected and cultivated by ancient cultures. Now, thanks to the merging of modern science and ancient wisdom, these powers are being rediscovered. Best of all, they don't require blind faith, only attention, practice, and an openness to see beyond the ordinary. Human nature hasn't fundamentally changed over thousands of years. What has shifted is our ability to remember who we truly are. The ancient Greeks called remembering a sacred act, a return to what the soul already knows deep within. At its core, a human is not a broken being, but a bridge between the visible and invisible, a blend of flesh, energy, and consciousness. Its true nature often lies hidden beneath layers of habit, distraction, and self-imposed ignorance. Yet, when we lift that veil, even for a moment, reality reveals itself in its purest form, and that's where our dormant superpowers begin to emerge. Let's begin with the first three. First, the power of the gaze, seeing what's invisible. Within you, deep in your ancestral mind, lies a radar that doesn't need words or images to operate. Have you ever been reading, working, or simply walking, and suddenly felt the unmistakable sense of being watched? You turn, and there it is. Someone's eyes locked onto you. How did you know? Science tries to explain this through peripheral vision or subtle shifts in energy around us, but that only scratches the surface. This power is much older, rooted in our primal survival instinct and heightened awareness. It's a quiet inner alertness, a sixth sense that keeps you connected to your environment and the intentions of others without conscious thought. Next is the ability to detect subtle energies, feeling the unseen, whether it's sensing the mood of a room or the tension in a person before they speak. Many people experience this almost instinctively. Ancient cultures taught that the body is a sensitive antenna, tuned to the vibrations of everything around it. Today, science is beginning to confirm how our nervous system and energy fields pick up on cues that escape our ordinary perception. Third, the power of deep listening. This isn't just about hearing sounds, it's the ability to tune into frequencies beyond the audible range, hearing underwater, sensing shifts in the environment, and catching whispers of the unseen world. Yogis and shamans developed this skill through long meditation and focused practice, showing us that human hearing can extend far beyond what we usually expect. These first three powers are gateways, steps back to the forgotten wisdom within us. As you explore these abilities, remember they are not magic tricks or illusions. They are natural parts of who you are, waiting to be remembered and refined. The journey begins with awareness and curiosity, unlocking doors to realms once thought closed. So, are you ready to awaken the superpowers buried deep inside you, to step beyond what modern life tells you is possible? The path back to your true self starts here with the power of your gaze, your sensitivity, and your listening. Because remembering who you are is the greatest power of all. What cannot be denied is that we often sense another's presence without a single glance exchanged. Ancient traditions called this the thread of intention, an invisible connection, weaving between the soul of the watcher and the watched. Some believe the eyes release a kind of psychic energy, and focused attention becomes a subtle force projecting outward. When you look at someone, you don't just see their face, you touch their energy field, and when their gaze meets yours, you feel it too, even if you can't explain how. This sixth sense isn't some mysterious gift beyond your reach. It's simply buried beneath the noise of everyday distractions. Second, there's inner vision, seeing without open eyes. Try this tonight. Enter a dark room, close your eyes, or use a blindfold, Then slowly move your hands in front of your face. Though you can't see them, you somehow know where they are. You sense their shape, movement, and how close they come. It's like your hands leave faint trails of glowing light in the darkness. This isn't magic. It's your inner visual consciousness at work. In Vedanta philosophy, it's said that the mind has its own eyes. True vision is less about the physical eyes and more about the awareness of the observer behind them. Neuroscience confirms this too. Even when no light enters the eyes, brain areas tied to vision still activate. Our awareness of movement and body position, known as proprioception, is linked to sensory memories and neural maps built over time. Here lies a profound truth. The body remembers what the soul has witnessed. When stillness deepens and your focus sharpens, that inner vision glows like a spark that never fully dies. Third is the alchemical ear, an astonishing ability to hear temperature. At first this sounds like a small trick, but it's truly a subtle wonder. Your ear can detect the temperature of water just by the sound it makes as it falls. To how water molecules vibrate differently, depending on whether the water is cold or hot. Cold water drops create sharp, dense sounds, while hot water falls with softer, more diffused tones. Most of us don't consciously notice these differences, but with training, the ear becomes sensitive to such delicate shifts. This reveals something crucial. Our senses aren't fixed or limited by biology alone. They are shaped and expanded by the consciousness that guides them. A Zen monk meditating in a forest hears the environment in a completely different way than a tourist. The difference isn't in their ears, it's in their presence. This quiet power reminds us that matter vibrates, and an awakened person can sense these vibrations deeply. These three gifts, sensing presence, inner vision, and the alchemical ear, aren't random biological quirks. They're doorways to a lost way of living, one where humans don't separate themselves from the world, but instead experience it as the very heartbeat of the universe. The first veil is lifted. You're beginning to realize the human body is not just flesh and bone, but a sacred vessel for unseen potential. This is just the beginning. As you open to these subtle powers, you step closer to a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. It's a path back to an ancient knowing, where the line between the inner and outer blurs, and the extraordinary becomes part of everyday life. Are you ready to keep lifting the veil and uncover more hidden gifts within you? The journey is calling, and it starts with opening your senses to what's always been there, waiting patiently beneath the surface. The human body is more than just flesh and bone. It's a living antenna, finely tuned to perceive, transform, and transmit energies far beyond what the conscious mind can grasp. Now, let's dive into the next four incredible powers, where biology meets alchemy, and the physical world reveals its hidden spiritual essence. These are secrets only an awakened body can hold and slowly unveil. Fourth, emotional sweat, the silent language of our inner world. Have you ever stepped into a crowded room and instantly felt a wave of joy, anxiety, or calm wash over you, even though no one spoke or looked your way? That invisible shift in the atmosphere is no accident. Science shows that sweat isn't just about cooling the body or releasing toxins. It also carries complex chemical messages tied to our emotions. When we're happy, scared, or sad, our sweat releases subtle signals that others can sense, often without realizing it. This is called emotional chemical communication, and it's the body's way of sharing its internal state silently. Ancient shamanic traditions took this even further, believing that sweat was the soul's way of leaving energetic imprints on the environment. These emotional residues create an unseen aura around us, a kind of magnetic field that can heal or disturb. Sweat isn't just a physical byproduct, it's a vibrational signature of our feelings, and when that vibration is high, it acts as a gentle medicine for those nearby. Fifth, the spirit's sense of smell, an uncanny ability to detect hidden health signals in others. Imagine being able to smell illness before symptoms appear, sensing a drop in someone's vitality simply by their scent. While this sounds like science fiction, it's actually a deeply ancient gift, still encoded in our biology. Research shows that when the body fights infection, chemical compounds in sweat and breath subtly change, and some people, especially women with keen olfactory senses, can detect these shifts unconsciously. What modern science is just beginning to uncover, indigenous healers have known for centuries. Many cultures called this the scent of the soul, recognizing that a person's smell changes when their vital energy is out of balance. And smell was a spiritual diagnostic tool, just as valuable as touch or sight. Although this ability lies dormant in most of us today, it remains inside you. All it takes is calming your mind, tuning into your instincts, and trusting what can't be easily explained. Sixth, underwater hearing, the remarkable capacity to perceive sounds beyond the usual limits of the air. Normally, human hearing is confined to a narrow range of frequencies, but something extraordinary happens when we're submerged in water. Suddenly, our auditory limitations seem to dissolve, and we start picking up sounds at frequencies even aquatic creatures can't detect, up to 200 Hz, far above what we hear in air. How does this happen? Water carries sound differently. Instead of traveling through air to the eardrum, sound waves pass directly through the bones in our skull via bone conduction. It's not just the ears listening, it's the whole body acting as a receptor. Underwater, our bodies tap into an ancient method of hearing, a primal connection to the environment that we've lost on land, but can reclaim beneath the surface. Seventh, the ancient rhythm of the heartbeat, our body's innate clock syncing with the universe. Beyond the pulse you feel in your wrist lies a deeper resonance with the natural world. Many indigenous teachings describe the heartbeat as a bridge, linking us to cosmic rhythms, the cycles of the moon, tides, and seasons. This connection is more than metaphor. Science shows that heart rate variability reflects our emotional and energetic state, and practices like meditation and breathwork can tune this rhythm to higher harmony. When we align with this pulse, we become more attuned to ourselves and the flow of life, accessing calm, clarity, and even intuitive insight. It's a subtle power that reminds us we are not separate from nature, but part of its unfolding dance. These four powers, emotional sweat, the spirit's scent, underwater hearing, and the heartbeat's rhythm, transform our understanding of what it means to be human. They reveal that our bodies are not merely physical machines, but sacred vessels woven into the fabric of life's unseen energies. As you begin to awaken these gifts, the world shifts from a place of mere survival into a realm of wonder and deep connection. The veil is lifting further. With each new awareness, you step closer to rediscovering the full spectrum of human potential powers long forgotten, but never lost. The journey continues, inviting you to explore, practice, and embrace the mystery within. More than just picking up sounds, water carries a profound message to the soul. Ancient cultures understood this deeply. Water wasn't only for cleansing the body, but for awakening the spirit. Ritual baths, sacred river immersions, and baptisms were never mere symbols. They were sacred ceremonies meant to restore our connection to the unseen. Beneath the surface, in the quiet stillness, the body listens to the world's hidden song, a melody too subtle for ordinary hearing, but alive to the awakened senses. Seventh, the skin that breathes wisdom, healing through scent and touch. This power elegantly unites the physical and the spiritual. Our skin, the boundary that separates us from the world, is paradoxically also our bridge to it. Recent discoveries show that olfactory receptors, those tiny detectors of scent, aren't confined to the nose alone, but are scattered across the skin. When certain fragrances, like sandalwood or frankincense, touch the skin, they spark the body's natural healing mechanisms, encouraging cell regeneration and restoring balance. In ancient traditions, this was no accident or novelty, for scents played a vital role in spiritual rites, opening energy pathways, mending emotional wounds, and accelerating physical recovery. Incense, essential oils, and balms weren't just pleasant aromas, they were sacred tools for cultivating harmony between body, mind, and spirit. The skin, sensing these subtle vibrations, responds with life itself. It's not merely a barrier, but a vibrant organ linking us to the invisible energies that surround us. These four powers, the ability to hear the world beneath water, the skin's fragrant wisdom, along with the three previously explored, complete a sacred map of 7 hidden gifts. They aren't just poetic ideas or spiritual myths, they are authentic abilities waiting quietly within us, ready to be uncovered through patience, awareness, and reverence for life's mysteries. Simply knowing about these powers is just the beginning. The true journey and the greatest gift lies in learning how to weave them into the fabric of daily living. Knowledge without practice is like a lantern trapped inside a closed room. It shines brilliantly, but does no good if its light never reaches beyond the walls. How then do we awaken these long-lost gifts? The secret isn't found in exotic rituals or complicated techniques, but in something far simpler and more profound: presence. Finding stillness, cultivating inner silence, and honoring the body as a sacred temple of the soul. Start small. Cultivate subtle awareness. Most of us drift through life on autopilot. We eat without tasting, walk without feeling the earth beneath our feet, speak without truly hearing. This habitual disconnection is the greatest obstacle to unlocking your hidden senses. Begin by tuning in to the little things. Listen closely to the gentle sound of water dripping or flowing. Feel your breath as it naturally moves, without trying to change or control it. But look into people's eyes, not as strangers or objects, but as living souls communicating through movement and energy. Practicing subtle awareness is like polishing an ancient mirror, slowly, patiently revealing reflections long hidden beneath dust and time. With regular effort, images and insights begin to emerge from the depths. To deepen this journey, embrace 3 practices, often feared but essential: meditation, solitude, and shadow work. Silence is not merely the absence of noise. It is a gateway to the unknown realms within. Solitude doesn't mean loneliness. It is a chance to reconnect with your true self beyond external distractions. And the shadow is not darkness to be feared, but a reservoir of untapped potential and wisdom, waiting to be integrated. Carve out moments each day for silence, free from phones, screens, or chatter. Explore the inner landscape with curiosity and compassion. Slowly, you'll begin to sense the faint stirrings of your hidden powers, awakening an invitation to live, not just with your eyes open, but with your whole being alive. This is the path of the awakened body, the sacred dance of flesh, spirit, and energy, merging you into the heartbeat of the universe itself. You step into a sacred space, a place where your forgotten senses stir awake, and what once lay hidden beneath the surface begins to bloom. Honor your body as a sacred instrument, not a random byproduct of evolution, or a soulless machine. It's a multidimensional antenna, finely tuned to receive far more than you might imagine. Nurture it, listen deeply, and move with mindful intention. Explore practices that heighten your sensitivity: yoga, conscious breathing, dance, immersing yourself in hot or cold water, or simply walking barefoot on the earth. Each step you take, each breath you draw, unlocks hidden channels within your body, restoring it as a vibrant conduit for your spirit. Cleanse your perception channels. Nourishment isn't only about what you eat. Your senses absorb everything around you: images, sounds, words, emotions. If you're constantly bombarded by noise, negativity, and distraction, your senses grow dull and clogged with interference. Start making deliberate choices. Surround yourself with music that lifts your spirit. Dive into books that ignite your soul, and seek out those who speak from the heart, not from fear or judgment. As you do, your sensitivity sharpens, and your connection to the subtle world deepens. Reconnect with nature. Your innate powers aren't separate from the universe. They mirror the same intelligent force that guides the moon's cycles, the blossoming of flowers, and the ebb and flow of the tides. Spending time in the natural world isn't just a pleasure. It's a spiritual imperative. Wander through forests, swim in lakes or oceans, sit quietly by a crackling fire. Do this not as a visitor, but as someone who recognizes their own essence within earth, water, air, and fire. You'll begin to sense that your gifts are echoes of the natural world speaking through you, a profound reminder that you are part of an intricate cosmic dance. You've reached the end of one path, only to stand at the threshold of a much grander journey. Today, you've recalled 7 gifts, powers that aren't new, strange, or borrowed, but have always lived within you. Like seeds resting beneath the winter soil, they've awaited the right conditions to sprout. Silence, focus, and the courage to turn inward. We live in an era, drowning in endless streams of information, yet starved for true connection. We know more about distant stars than the rhythms of our own bodies. We seek answers in screens, algorithms, and external authorities, forgetting that real wisdom rises from within. These superpowers, feeling the gaze of another, hearing subtle sounds, sensing health shifts, healing through touch, are portals to a deeper truth. Humans are bridges between worlds, the physical and the unseen, the limited and the infinite. You may not have the ability to fly or move objects with your mind, but you possess a different kind of power, You can shape your environment with your energy. You can sense before your mind understands. You can perceive the silent, the invisible, and the immeasurable. And in a world largely asleep to this reality, that alone is a revolutionary act. Ancient wisdom never aimed to grant control over others. Its purpose was to unlock gifts for healing, enlightenment, and service. What awakens in you has the power to awaken others. One person remembering can set off a ripple, a collective remembering. That's how the soul of humanity expands and evolves. You don't need to wait for permission or external validation. Your body, your senses, and your spirit are already alive with possibility. Trust in your own inner knowing. Cultivate presence, embrace stillness, and step forward as the living expression of a timeless truth. The gifts you hold are the key to a world waiting to awaken through you. You don't need grand rituals or distant ceremonies to awaken your true self. All it takes is tuning in, listening deeply to your body, the world around you, and that quiet, persistent voice inside you that's been overlooked for far too long. The most powerful lesson isn't about having superpowers. It's about realizing that you're not what the world has told you you are. You are vast, subtle, and infinitely wise. Every single day, you get to decide, will you live as just another part of the machine, or will you rise as a conscious, awakened being? I invite you to try something simple yet transformative. Pause. Stop what you're doing. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Feel your body, your skin, your heartbeat, your breath, flowing in and out. In that quiet space within you, the 7 hidden gifts are softly waiting, humming just beneath the surface, longing for your awareness. This is your moment. This is your place. You are the bridge between the seen and unseen. If what I'm sharing resonates with you, don't let it remain just words floating in the air. Share it with others. Reflect on it deeply. Most importantly, bring it into your daily life. Let every day be a conscious act of remembering who you truly are. Let your life itself become a living, breathing temple, a sacred expression of your inner light. And if you're ready to dive deeper, to explore the mysteries that lie beneath the surface, to uncover forgotten truths, and walk the paths of the soul, then this channel is your sanctuary. Subscribe, and join me on this journey. Together, we will venture further into the depths, unraveling the hidden layers of existence. Because in the end, this journey isn't about learning something new, it's about remembering what's always been there, the essence of who you are, waiting patiently to be known again.